Hi, and welcome to Sistaco. My name's Chantel, and today we're going to be talking about everything mineral bond nails. You will have just received your very first Sistaco set, and I'm here to walk you through everything that you need to know. We're going to be doing a rose gold holographic application today, which is one of our best-selling colors, and I'm going to be sharing some really great tips and tricks along the way. So, let's get started. Let's get started with what's included in your mineral bond nail set. You get absolutely everything that you need to do a year's worth of manicures, which is fantastic. So starting with the base coat, which is this beautiful bottle here, and you also have your gloss top coat. I'll show you how to use these a little later. You also get your double-sided mineral bond applicator, which you can use to apply your mineral bond powders. Down here, you have your LED lamp. Now, the great thing about the LED lamp is it folds for really easy storage. All you do is open up the legs like so, but when you're using your mineral bond set for the very first time, please make sure you remove the blue film from not only here, but also the sides. Then you can fold it back and pop it back inside your box. You also get to choose any colors of your choice, which is such a fun process that I'm sure you've already done on the website. Trust me, they won't be the last colors you'll be wanting. Over here, we have our awesome rapid remover. I'm gonna show you how to use this one a little bit later, but this is for removing your manicure when you're ready for a brand new color. You'll also get in your set 2 of our Design Your Shade containers. All Sistaco mineral powders can be mixed to create your own custom colors. This is really where the fun begins. So we'll talk about these a little later. Underneath your lamp, don't forget, you also have this little tool, which is gonna help you when using your rapid remover. So that is everything that you need to get started. And now I'm gonna show you how to use all of it. Let's go. Step 1 of your Sistaco process before you start using the mineral bond system is nail prep. This is a very personal thing and can very much depend on your body genetics and makeup. But I always suggest and I always say that good prep makes for a really long-lasting manicure. So here are some tips and things you can do to increase the length and life of your nails. The first is using our prep pads, which come in this little box, and we also have a prep liquid, which does a similar thing. One of these pads will go over all of your nails and remove any of the oils that you didn't even know were there to create a really great surface for the start of your mani. The other thing you can use is our Sistaco nail file, which you can use to lightly buff the surface of your nails to create a really good foundation for your mineral bond application. And maybe you'll start with one technique, and as you develop and learn and see what works for you, you can try different things as well. But these would be my recommendations. So let's move on to step 2 and apply our base coat and top coat for our holographic application. When applying a Sistaco mineral bond powder, it's really important that you start by understanding the type of powder that you're working with. So the type of powder is listed underneath at the bottom of the nail powder, and you'll be able to see which range this powder is from. Now, the reason that is so important is that the type of application that you do depends on the type of powder that you're working with. Today, I'm working with a holographic color, rose gold, but I also have other videos to show you how to apply classic powders, how to apply metallic powders, and other types of powders. Starting off with our holographic application, there are 2 ways actually to apply a holographic or metallic color. There's the long wear way or the short wear way. I'm going to show you the short way a little bit later, but right now we're going to go in with our base coat for our long wear. I'm going to be resting my hands on our pedestal here, which is really easy and great to use. It's sold separately, and basically you have a grate on the top which allows your powder to drop in the bottom so you save it all, but it's also really great for steadying your hands when you're doing your application, which allows you to get those nice clean lines. So when we're applying our base coat, we go down the middle and then we go to the right and to the left. So I do 3 strokes per nail that I'm actually applying our base coat to, and I've wiped off my base coat applicator before I go in. If you see any bubbles at this stage, it'll be because there is natural oil on your nail. So be conscious of that and make sure that you are using those prep instructions that I said earlier. Once your base coat is done, we're just going to jump in straight away with our top coat. This goes straight over the top. You do not need to set in between these coats. Again, washing off my top coat brush and then brushing it straight on to my nail in, again, that 3-stroke process. You can always dip again when you want. The other thing I like to do as well is cap the tip of my nails, which can only be done if your nails are long enough, and that is just by running the top coat over the free edge of the nail at the end to ensure that you are creating a nice seal even over the edges. Now you want to keep these bottles away from the lamp because they do have clear necks, so they will set if they are under the lamp. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop our nails under the lamp like so. I like to do this angle because it gets all of my nails, and we're going to press and hold this button, and this lamp will then be automatically timed for 2 minutes, which is great because you don't even need to think about it at all. And like I said, it is getting all of my nails. There are side lamps on our LED lamp, top lamps, and more lamps on the other side. Today we're going to be using our Mineral Bond applicator from our set to apply our holographic rose gold color. The thing I really love about Sistaco is you don't have to worry about getting your powder on your skin. It will just brush straight off after the final top coat seals the mineral bond. Now we're going to be going in with our rose gold powder. Hot tip, don't throw away these white caps on the top. They do hold the color inside the pot. So I'm going to take off my cap, which protects my color, and I'm going to be taking my Mineral Bond applicator, dipping that straight into the powder. The beauty of Sistaco Mineral Bond and why it lasts so long is you only need a very small amount of powder to actually get a great full color manicure. So what we're going to be doing with this is just popping the color onto the nail, and we're going to be rubbing backwards and forwards. This is so satisfying. I just love it. I also go over a little bit because I can just take any of that extra powder off as well. Then I'll dip back in again, just a little bit, and I'll go back in and rub that backwards and forwards onto my nail. You're really sort of buffing it into the nail. You want to take away any of that excess, and that's where the pedestal comes in, because any of that excess powder you can save for later because it's just going to fall into the bottom. So dipping again and brushing over my nail. Gosh, this color just never ever gets old. This is a personal favorite of mine, and I'll do my little finger. Like I said, you can see that that excess is just brushing straight off into my pedestal. And of course, last but very much not least, my thumb. Running that over. And I love how you don't have to be really clean or careful. Anyone can do this, which is fantastic. So this is what it's looking like so far before we apply the top coat. Once your powder is all applied, you are going to lock all of that goodness in by applying your top coat. So again, using my pedestal to steady my hands, I'm just going to use that same motion that I said earlier, and I'm actually going to cap them as well on this step. So going through the middle and running along the edges. This is so easy. I just love how I can just set it now and walk out the door and my nails are going to be completely dry. And let's pop that under the lamp as well. Press and hold will give us that 2-minute timer, which means we don't have to think about anything. When applying your Sistaco powder, it's very important there's no powder sitting on top of your application. This applies for holographic or classic applications. What I always suggest if you are doing a holographic or a metallic application is using that buffing method to actually buff the powder in. When you're doing a classic application, it is slightly different. I suggest using our 3-in-1 dusting brush, which will actually get rid of that excess layer of powder, push that all into your pedestal, and it's gonna give you the great foundation of powder that your top coat can mineral bond to. So there you have it, your very first Sistaco manicure. Thank you so much for joining me for that tutorial. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, we have a lot of different other colors. You'll find them on the bottom. and they have different application techniques. So they also come with other tips and tricks, which I will show you in other videos. So please make sure that you search that so you can see matte applications, classic applications, and all of the different things you can do with your Sistaco Mineral Bond system. Don't forget as well to post your very first manicure and all of the ones after that on our Sistaco Collective Facebook group. That is on Facebook with over 130,000 sisters that are there to cheer you on for this manicure and even a pedicure and all of the rest. So I will be seeing you very, very soon, and welcome to the Sistaco family.